Could Jak and Daxter's comeback be on the horizon? Let's find out. What's up, guys? Canadian Guy A here, back after my sleepless nights of playing God of War late into the night with my wife. Honestly, go pick up this game if you got a PS4. It's phenomenal. Ever since we got confirmation of Spyro, literally everyone has been beyond overjoyed, including me. We still are waiting for more details on it, and I'll report on them when they come out. But now that the remaster is coming, it's almost a little sad. I miss doing the theory videos, hunting for clues, looking for some detail that reveals everything. I was going through the PlayStation Store and I found the digital download for the Jak and Daxter collection, and a flow of nostalgic memories hit me like a truck. I had missed these games. They had a charm that they brought to the table that was so good. I had wished to play them again. But before I hit the buy button, however, an idea hit me. What if they could remaster this trilogy just like they've been doing for Crash, Spyro, and Medieval? Or maybe release a Jak 4? Maybe an entire reboot of the series? I raced to the internet and started hunting, looking for hints, clues, Easter eggs, pretty much anything to do with Jak and Daxter. After a few hours of digging, I think I found something to show you guys. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get right into it. So, right off the hop, this evidence is not quite as ironclad like Spyro's was. Then again, they did a real great job of holding that secret. But many fans are still wanting more of the Jak and Daxter universe. People love the games and have been asking for either a sequel, reboot, a remaster, just something. But in a way, Naughty Dog has acknowledged this by releasing and porting an HD collection to the PS3 and the PS4. This by itself just shows that Jak and Daxter is not dead to Naughty Dog. Not even Sly Cooper as a PS4 port. Not yet, at least. So it would seem that Naughty Dog knows that people still want and love this series, which strikes me as interesting. It was like Naughty Dog's way of saying, hey, these characters still exist, we still like them, almost like a reminder to us and themselves. Now let me show you quite an interesting article. Back on April 12th, while we were blinded by the Spyro hype, Sony released a job listing looking for a gameplay engineer. Now, at first glance, this seems like, well, nothing, until you read and get into it. The job listing actually continues to say that Sony is opening a brand new studio in San Diego to develop a AAA PlayStation exclusive that is under the genre of a third-person action adventure. Okay, so at first I was fairly, well, unmoved by this. This could be anything. It could be a brand new IP for all we know. But the deeper you get into the job listing, some other things that are interesting pop up. This studio apparently will be working in tandem with another first-party Sony company, and SAVG. So this company is going to be working closely with another first-party Sony exclusive company that already exists. So I wanted to look at that before we talked about who and what SAVG is. I decided to take a look at all the PlayStation's first-party companies and what companies have previous experiences with a genre that is a third-person action adventure. This narrows it down to about 5 companies: Sucker Punch, Naughty Dog, Santa Monica, Guerrilla Games, and Japan Studio. Okay, so Jak and Daxter was made by Naughty Dog and is considered a third-person action adventure game. So yeah, this does narrow it down, but that's assuming that this title that the new studio is going to be helping with already has an existing IP. What if it's a new IP? What if Sony contracts one of the other 10 active studios to do this game? This still leaves a lot of questioning and doubt. That was until some more people did digging. After going through LinkedIn profiles, someone over at Reset Era found an unannounced project from a PlayStation employee over at San Diego, which is the location of the new studio. Want to know who the employee worked for? It was the one, the only Naughty Dog. Now we're talking. Now it does say Santa Monica as well, but literally God of War just dropped, so the likelihood of the unannounced project being Santa Monica's is highly unlikely. Also, just because it says 2018 in brackets, that does not mean the project will be released during that year. It could be when the production has started, when the game was announced. It could be anything. Hence why we don't see a year or date beside The Last of Us Part 2, and we can definitely assume that The Last of Us is in further production than the unannounced project. This also makes sense because this is pretty much the only genre of game that Naughty Dog does. The 4 unique modern IPs that Naughty Dog has worked on is Crash Bandicoot, Uncharted, The Last of Us, and Jak and Daxter.
So what do we need to know?
Right off the hop, we can eliminate Crash Bandicoot. Naughty Dog does not own the IP, Activision does. So this leaves us with 3 franchises: Uncharted, The Last of Us, and Jak and Daxter. Also, like I've said, this could be a dark horse and could be an entirely new IP, but there's evidence against it. More on that later. To also calm the people down that jump up and say, "Oh, this game does not follow the genre that the company's ad was looking for," here is the genres of all 3 games that are on the table. They all match with the action-adventure game. Now, I think I can eliminate one more game from Naughty Dog's library. Sony Sweden had given a release window for The Last of Us Part 2. According to them, they have set the game's release window to be late 2018. However, it also must be noted that Sony has gotten release dates wrong before. For example, God of War was slated to be released in March of 2018, but it was taken down when the game was announced to come in April 2018. Granted, it was only 1 month off, so they were really close. This time, however, they gave a release window, perhaps just in case it gets pushed back a month or 2, who knows. Now, if that doesn't quite eliminate the doubt in your mind, then this may help. In December of 2017 at the PlayStation Experience, Neil Druckmann, the director of The Last of Us Part 2, had said that the game was about 60% done. So, is it possible for a late 2018 release? Sure, I think so, but even if these rumors of a 2018 release turn out to be false, then it will very likely be coming in early to mid 2019, and currently they would probably be around 70 to 85% done. But this begs the question, why would Sony put together a new studio in San Diego to help with a project that is already around 70% complete? Isn't that kind of redundant? So, in all honesty, I do not think that this new studio in San Diego is going to help The Last of Us. So let's take it off the table. That leaves us with 2 titles remaining, Uncharted and Jak and Daxter. So, now the chances of Jak and Daxter seem to have significantly improved. Of course, once again, this could also be an entirely new IP. But now let's go back to the article. There's a few things that I felt that were important and worth talking about. One of which was the fact that the company will be working in tandem with VASG. Now, VASG, or the Visual Arts Service Group, is a division of Sony Computer Entertainment America's product development team that specializes in cinematics, animation, but most of all, motion capture. Motion capture has now become a great tool for game makers to make the movements of characters seem human and fluid. They have worked for and with all the exclusive development teams under the PlayStation banner. So why is this important? On March 8th, 2018, Josh Keaton, the voice actor of Jack, on his last 2 appearances in games, took a snapshot of himself in a motion capture suit. Now, this is where we get unstable in terms of what is factual, but some people have mentioned that the suit he is wearing is the same kind of suit that they use at Naughty Dog for their motion capture. Now, I did some cross-referencing with previous and older Naughty Dog games, and I did find a similarity, especially around the head area. I looked at other company mocap suits, and to be honest, the closest ones I found were Naughty Dog's and Santa Monica's, which are both Sony exclusives, which means the visual arts service group is likely involved. Now, the thing is, just because it might be Sony Santa Monica, I don't think so, because they literally have just released God of War. This could at least put Josh at a Sony exclusive studio. Now, I cross-referenced with Josh's credits, and the only other confirmed games that he has been in that were Sony exclusives was Lucas from Knack, Avad from Horizon Zero Dawn, and he was in The Last of Us, but was only credited for additional voices, or filler voices. I doubt that they would put someone who is only doing filler lines in a mocap suit. Also, I checked the mocap suits for Guerrilla Games, and again, it does not look like the same suit that Josh is wearing. In Knack? No. Just no. Now, does this mean that he's at Naughty Dog and recording something? Perhaps, but we can't say for certain. Now, I got one more small detail to squeeze in. If we look at Crash, he was released on his 21st anniversary. Spyro is being released on his 20th anniversary. In the article, they say that they have a clear vision as to when they want to release the game, which got me thinking, how do they have such a clear vision on its release date? Why would it have any sort of significance to this post? The only time that I normally see a certain date having significance when it comes to video games is anniversaries. I looked at what Vicarious Visions had said, and it said it took them about 2 years to do the Crash Bandicoot remaster. So what if the studio followed the same path? They still need to get people together and get a team up and going and start pre-production, so if they took 1 year to prepare themselves, then take 2 years to make the game, we would be in 2021. Normally, big celebratory video games anniversaries go by 5s or 10s. Uncharted was released in 2007, so its next milestone, being its 15th anniversary, hits 2022, which is a year off of our timeline. But ironically, 2021 would be Jak and Daxter's 20th anniversary, which is why they would have such a clear vision to when they want the game out. So the question is, what is it? A sequel? A reboot? A remaster? Honestly, I have no idea. In fact, this new studio could be opening up for a new IP, or perhaps a new Uncharted game. I'm not sure, but there is some evidence that suggests that it definitely could be Jak and Daxter. Also, it seems that there is a huge revival of sorts with the 90s to early 2000s in terms of mascots in games. Crash Bandicoot was hugely successful, the internet is still raving about Spyro, and Naughty Dog may be wanting to cash in on the nostalgic feels that people have been throwing money at. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to visit my Patreon and consider donating, because I like eating sometimes. Just, once in a while. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye!